unavailable? What? Pardon me? Okay, there we are. What was I watching that would be unavailable now, suddenly? Anyway, you might notice that my camera is in a slightly different position. You'll see why in a minute. But for now, let me get the administrative stuff out of the way. Which means putting that in its proper playlist, copying the address, inserting it into here, pasting it into here, I guess I should say, and changing the time to 8:10. Whoops, that could have been a disaster. Okay, and getting rid of that because I don't like it. And this is another game that when I do the, what is it, Alt Tab out, yeah, it doesn't stay on the screen. It goes, what do you call that? Oh, where's my English? Reduces. Sorry. There we are. It reduces. So, what am I doing? I don't need that. That's what I'm doing. I want to pop the chat out. Pop. I want to not do that because I try to reduce the chat a bit. And boop. And down. And over. And here we go. I do believe. Okay, that's not going to work for me. I don't know what happened there, but no. I have no idea what you think you're doing there, Mr. Computer, but stop it. I want to be able to know if someone comes in to watch, so don't cover that up. Drop frame 0. Okay, good. Now, let's try this again. Oh, you are going to be nasty about this, are you? Fine. Wow. Okay. That's just not going to work. Okay, let's get rid of you. Oh, stop that. Why for are you giving me a hard time? Now, we can do this. We just need to make this a whole lot smaller. And even smaller still if we can the other way. Nope. Nope. That's as small as it's going to get. Okay. Over there would be fine. It won't stay there, but we can hope. Okay. Okay, I can see everything I need to see, I guess. Let's just wait and make sure this comes up on YouTube because it hasn't come up yet. Unless, of course, I have to... put that on top. It's not an option. Are you freaking kidding me? Try that. I don't think it'll work, but I'll give it a whirl. I think it would work. Oh well, so be it. YouTube in this game just aren't going to get along, I guess. Now, let's wait and see, make sure the picture comes up. Doesn't seem to be coming up, does it? That should have come up by now. What in the world is going on? Oh. The Stanley Parable. Is it because of where my... Can't be. Okay, that comes up there. But it's not coming up in YouTube. What about now? It was up. There it is. Okay, finally. Thank you. Okay, this game. I know very, very little about this game. I know that it is supposedly unwinnable. And you have to listen and pay attention. But I don't think there's any fighting because when I went into do the keyboard and mouse settings, edit keys, there's no hitting, there's no punching, there's use, there's duck, there's take screenshot, you know, that's it. And of course we're moving, so I don't think there's any fighting or anything in this game, which is okay. I can live with that. This is supposed to be a pretty weird and fun game, so let's start. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. And ad infinitum. Hello. Come on. Today would be nice.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was he sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Okay.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Pretty boring.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Well, there you are.
Stanley was happy.
What's wrong with that?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Okay.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I'm up. And, ooh, that's fast. That's real fast. That's better. Okay, what's going on? Oh, no, I can't open the door. No. Oh no, it uses, what did I use at? Mouse 1. This is going to take a little bit getting used to. No, okay, so I can't open any doors. Filing cabinets? No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Good question.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
All I can do is turn. Okay. You ever get the feeling you're being herded? 'Cause I sure do. Oh. Stop that. No, just turning it off. 420.
Stanley went around
No.
touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor
I
did it
wasn't
advance the
touching
story in any
everything.
way.
Trying to open doors to see if there's anything, any place else to explore, you silly narrator, you.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he? Do I want to do that? Alright, I'll follow along the story for now. Lovely. I didn't realize this was a horror. Okay, I'm going to give up on the... Well, unless I see something different. What's in here?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Huh? R.I.P. France. Okay. So that's just work-related stuff. Who pooed my desk? Stunned only. No stand autographs. It's down here. Employees. I'm not on there. 427 isn't included in any of those. Okay. And one of them's arched backwards. Yeah, that goes down. That goes down. And 431 gym. How does those... How does the volume up here? Whoa, 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 shoot. Things. True. Money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Grass. No. People don't want grass. Generally speaking. Number slides. Slides, charts, charts and slides. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all.
I'm
He
reading,
seems to think
you
I have nothing
jackass.
better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Loaded triplicate returns. Okay. Boss appreciation met. Solving it. Finding some conflicts. Yourself moving to this line. Why did we hire you? Remember that it takes two people to start a fight. What are your dreams for the future? Comatose. Okay, I got all of that. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. That'll ball you up inside. Resent co-workers for not supporting you. Take it out passes aggressively. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Synergize core. So just a bunch of garbage on the walls. Okay. What fun garbage. Ooh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yeah, I guess so.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is my boss upstairs? How much downstairs is there? Well, I'm going to follow the instructions for the first little bit. I'm not a contrarian by nature. I do like to think about things before I do them. Nothing. Executive bathroom. No. 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 It doesn't seem to be anyone.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
He looked first. This is getting kind of creepy. That's going to close behind me, isn't it? Not yet. I take it, yeah. No, that's just darkness, right? Yeah, I can't see a blasted thing. If you want to tell me the combination, I'll take it.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, that's bloody dark. It's even darker now. Let's not fall off or anything like that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Did he now? Okay. Oh. Damn it. I thought that was a skull from back further.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Cameras. What looked like no, I can't quite bring that into focus. Sorry about that, everyone. I wish I could. What about this one? No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, but there's no one on any of the monitors. Okay. No.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Oh my
it was
goodness.
Unthinkable.
Of course
Wasn't
it's
it?
not unthinkable.
Was it even possible?
That's just
Had he
silly.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I can't see.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad
Mind
or
control
content.
status offline.
Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
Offline.
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Offline. I don't know how. I don't have a gun. Even if I did have a gun, I'd have no way to use that particular gun. Okay, so there's 3 lights. 4 lights, 4 lights. 2 lights, 2 lights. Two lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. Well, no, 3 lights. And 4 lights again. Okay. Doesn't seem to be any specific pattern that I can see. The only thing that's really different is that there's a big red button. I'm not pushing anything yet. That's just way too 5. 5. 3. Where's 4? 1, 2, 3, 5. Where's 4? I'm not seeing a 4. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, and 5. Is anyone seeing a 4? I don't want to be pushing any buttons or going anywhere until I know where all these things are. So I have a funny feeling that that might come in handy. I do not see a 4. 5. 3. 1, 2. No, I am not seeing a 4. Okay, what's in here? System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
He didn't know any such thing. Because he'd rather not blow himself up. And he has a funny feeling that that is exactly what's going to happen. Four. Ha ha ha. Found ya. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, at least I know they're all in here, and I know 4 is in an out of the way spot.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
No, I wanted
Oh, Stanley,
to see who would come
I
and
applaud
see
your effort,
me.
I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
What do you mean
or I
you
let? It
let?
burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every
Trying to
little thing
figure
in
it
this
out,
room.
yeah.
These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything. Something
that up
here will
again?
save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Did that come
But
back
here's
up?
a spoiler for you.
Yeah, it did.
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you
Okay,
make
so that's just not going to work.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
What about-
You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yes. And this is never the end. Oh, really? Well. Now. word from Mr. Mister yet.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Just in case. I hate Monday. There's no way to take things.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, he did not.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley
Immaculate?
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
No, I'm not just standing. I'm looking to see if there's anything to pick up.
Yes, really. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Uh-huh. I'm guessing I can't go out that way. Okay. Uh-huh. No. Is there a key card around here I can pick up? Probably not.
Look, Stanley, I
Whoa.
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about
already led
nothing but
me
you
wrong.
all this time.
Once.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me,
What?
I'm asking for her.
Her. Who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who is her? Oh my, that's dark. There's no way back, is there? There is. Okay. In that case... Whoa. Can't see anything.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I need to know who the her is.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you
I
to come in and
can't
tell
move.
me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come
Ha ha.
on.
Ha
Did you
ha.
actually think you had a loving
Ha
wife?
ha
They
ha.
want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come
What?
inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I can't. Oh, whoa, before.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, I see. I'm not happy about it, but I see.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning. Press Y on your keyboard. I don't think so. How about if I press talk to? No. How about if I press no? I wonder how long I can wait before he does something. No, I can't. No. Okay, now this is just boring. I don't want to press Y. I want to press no. Or press nothing, which is what I did for a while. But I don't seem to be able to... I'm not... but he said this was about my death, which means he's going to try to kill me soon. Or probably succeed, since I don't seem to be able to escape. I'm going to try to wait it out, see. So, hello, honey. How are you today? I don't know about you, but I've had a pretty weird day at work. Everybody disappeared. I walked all through a bunch of offices. Couldn't go in anyone's doors except for a very few, and it was sort of like I was being told which way to go. And I followed the instructions, and then I apparently pressed the wrong button. I have to get back there and try that again. And when I did, I get blown up. But that didn't end me. As the thing says at the bottom, there is no end. But it put me right back at the beginning. My day with nobody in the offices, and I don't know what's going on. Fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now
No, I'm not.
He's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Seriously?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
I suppose it
and
may
each
have
day
been.
that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press U to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Uh-huh. +3 to spend time with the boys. Oh, for crying out loud.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press G to read. Oh, come on.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Okay.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh my.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Let's actually listen this time. See how long. I don't know if that's a 9 or a G. I think it's a 9. Yeah, I just don't have that much patience, dude.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Stanley, stop pushing buttons there, goofball. Yeah, here we go, back to the beginning. Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. This time we're going
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Still looking to make sure nothing's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Because I want another shot at that machine. I do.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I think I've looked at all of this pretty much. Okay. Up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Well, there's 3 buttons I want to push.
Stanley
in
walked
this.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes, he does. Because he's very curious what happens when he pushes the red
Now
button.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Well, I don't know about freedom yet, but certain privacy doesn't mean anything.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Oh,
Had
someone
Stanley
get
really
fired?
been under someone's control all this time? Was this the
104.
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
And 601 was fired. Okay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I can't push it. It's not being pushed. Okay, so that can only be pushed after. I have to push one of these 2 ones first.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. I made it dark.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
How?
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
I certainly
even as
have
the
my
immense door
doubts.
slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
No.
For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be
Oh.
his. And that was
Just a
all
moment,
he needed
please.
to know. It was
Just a minute.
perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Sorry about this, everyone. Oh, I didn't even check. I'll check now, okay? I gotta get offline first, though. I'm actually streaming right now. Okay, so it'll take me about 5 minutes.
Can you phone 2 seconds? I'll call him through and
Yeah.
check to see if you can second.
Yeah.
Just wait and check.
Yeah.
If I'm not checking, I'll give you a thumbs up, buddy, okay?
Alright. Be long.
Your password is?
No password, just... Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I have to save the game there. New saved game. Save. 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 Okay. And quit to menu, I guess, and quit. Alright, everyone. Sorry about this, but real life does come into play now and then. And this time it comes into play in a big way. Oh, there it is. The wrong thing up. Anyway, alright, everybody, have a nice day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, even, as the case may be. And yeah, we'll try this a little bit more tomorrow. We shall return. Hopefully I keep that save. I have no idea. Anyway, everybody have a nice day.